Hi, so I bet you're wondering why am I wearing these high-freaking glasses, this high-freaking bow tie? Well, it's because today I went to Tappers and I got what's in this high-freaking bag. What does that mean, you ask? Well, I went ahead and got the Retron 5. Now, I got it because, well, I want to be able to play all my consoles or all my cartridge-based games from Super Nintendo, as well as get into Famicom collecting and get back into the NES games that I love growing up. And so let me do this in HD, and it's amazing. So let's go ahead and take a look and unbox this baby. So, here we got the power adapter. We got, oh, that's kind of cool. We got power adapters for PAL in other countries. That's kind of neat. Alright, we got HDMI cable. Nothing special there. Got the USB charging cable for the controller. Here we've got, get out of here. Got the controller here. Heard terrible things about this controller. Yeah, definitely it's clicky. But we'll see how it plays games here. And this is the console itself. I'm gonna try to pull it out of here ever so carefully. This is really hard to do with one hand. Alright, you know what? I'm gonna set this show down real quick here. Okay. Alright, so here we got the console. Okay. So you got the it's really hard to see, but got the slots here. You have the Game Boy Advance slot in front. Controller sits right here. In the back. And it's really hard to see, and I apologize. But you've got the HDMI right here. Got the the SD card slot here. The mini USB slot here, and then the power right here. So here's the console in all its console-like glory, and then of course here you have your standard little instruction manual. So let's go ahead. That's the unboxing for the system. Let's go ahead and see how some of these games play. Okay, so here's the main menu of the Retron 5. You have play, game menu, settings, power off. Let's say the settings real quick here. So we got image filters, scan lines, and those all are off. Aspect ratio, display overscan, force ratio resolution, screen refresh rate, you can change that. Screen size, you can force the full range color output there. You got sound options, controller management, fast cartridge loading, console region. You can choose what region you want the console to emulate, and you can load the settings there. That's a brief rundown of the main menu area of Retron 5. So we're going to take a look at some games. So let's take a look at Magical Quest 3, Mickey and Donald. This is a fig cartridge that was donated to me, well, loaned to me by the owner of Tappers, so graciously. because he wanted to know if this would load and run in Retron 5. So let's take a look. And look at that. Okay, so this is as far as it will go in a Game Boy Advance. However, in a Game Boy Advance SP, it will go ahead and go into the full game. This is a fake cartridge, and let's see if it gets past English here. Okay. Well, it looks like it's going to play. So, the Retron 5 is able to play this game. Unlike any of the other systems, other than the SP. So that's really neat that it actually works. So there you have it. So that actually works. This fake cartridge works in the Retron 5. Awesome. Okay, let's take a look at a couple other ones here. Alright, so take that one out. Next game I want to look at is another one that again was loaned to me by the other tappers. And this is a 3-in-1 homebrew Game Boy Advance cartridge. 3 games in 1. Now this is going to take a while to load. A long while to load. This takes a long while. But let's see what happens. And it's still loading. 50%. 60%. Okay, we're at 70%. Getting there. 80%. Okay. And we'll load. And no, it will not. There's on the cartridge. There's even the option to run the cartridge saying, hey, you sure you want to do this? But we're going to say no, because I don't want to damage the cartridge. Last thing I want to do. I'm going to take that out. That's a no-go. That don't work. Alright, so the next thing we're going to look at is Star Force on the Famicom. This actually does do Famicom games, which is really cool. So here we go. Goes to the first slot. Recognizes it right away. Now, one thing I didn't mention, or didn't go over, what you'll go over now, the in-game menu. You can do game-specific settings here. You can apply cheats. You can copy the save file from the cartridge to the Retron, and vice versa. That's kind of neat. Game-specific settings, if you have a patch, so if you have like a Japanese game, you can actually select a patch to run it in English if you do have an English patch for that game, so it's kind of neat. And we're just going to play this here. Now, I don't know if you've caught this, but the controller this thing comes with is really clicky. I'm sure you're going to be able to hear this throughout the video. I do apologize for before and onward here. But yeah, you can see this plays really well, really smooth. A lot smoother, I think, than your standard NES or Famicom. So there you have it. There's that. So that concludes the borrowed games. Okay. So now, we're going to take a look at Miss Pac-Man on the Genesis. Miss Pac-Man. Just load it up here. So Miss Pac-Man and all the Miss Pac-Man glory. Standard Miss Pac-Man. Okay, and I'm going to stop that. And then the next system here. Now, cartridges are really difficult to remove from the restaurant. What's been suggested is to pull them out at an angle, which does help actually significantly, especially for the NES slot. Now this game I'm going to load up here is a game that I really enjoy playing. Never have beat, and that is. There we go. Yonoid, the wonderful, 80s mascot for Domino's. Really great platformer if you've never played it. Definitely worth giving it a shot. As you can see, it plays NES games just fine. There's a little bit of flicker, but I think that's par for the course when it comes to NES games. Alright, so I'm going to have that. Stop that. Take a look at the next system. NES games are the hardest to remove. Not sure why. Probably due to the build quality. Let's take a look at Tony Hawk and Game Boy Advance. Here's Tony Hawk. Pretty good Game Boy Advance game if you've ever played it. Pretty good game. With the built the controller it comes with, it's somewhat difficult to figure out which button's what for each system. But yeah, pretty good game. Plays pretty well. So there's Tony Hawk on the Game Boy Advance. All right. Take a look at the Game Boy Color game. Mission Impossible. And these three games, this one, well, these two, and one other one, is all going through the front slot there. And it will import your save, so it's kind of cool. There's that. That's Mission Impossible. Alright, so it is pixelated, as you can see, but it's to be expected if you're running it on a big screen. So there you go, Mission Impossible and Game Boy Color, running on the Retron 5. You can go ahead and do filters. I guess Super Eagle, from what people have said, is really good for getting out the pixels, and as you can see, it's a lot smoother, but it's also a little bit blurrier. So if you do want to play Game Boy Color games with a little less pixely looking, you can turn on this type of filter. Alright, oh, I almost died. Alright, on the next game here. Take a look at Elmo in Grouchland on the Game Boy. I think that filter's still on, so we'll go ahead and turn that off. There we go. You can see a total difference. Now I'm going to go ahead and actually switch to the SNES controller I have hooked up here. I'm sure you guys are done hearing that clicking. I know I am. Okay. You can use any controller with chopping for some reason. You can use any controller with the Retron 5 to play any of the games. There we go. Now it's working. So if you wanted to use a Genesis controller to play a Super Nintendo game, you can do that, though I wouldn't recommend it. That's kind of neat. So there you have. There's Elmo and Grouch Ranch. Okay. Now, here's a game that, when the system first came out, was reviewed saying the system could not play this game. And that game is Doom on the Super Nintendo. So let's see if we'll play it. Comes up. Okay, let's go ahead and actually let's see. Okay, so play it here. When we initially booted it up, it would go to play the game and it would just go all glitchy. So we'll see if this plays here. And check that out. It is playing Doom. It is playing Doom without messing up. That is awesome. So there you have it. Doom on the Super Nintendo running just fine on the Retron 5. That's really neat. Okay. So that concludes the gameplay testing of the Retron 5. I'm really glad I got the system. Happy to have it in my collection. Oh, actually, there's one more game I wanted to test here. Okay, and that is a Super Famicom game. In fact, the only Super Famicom game that I own. And that is Final Fantasy V. And again, I'm going to go over to the SNES controller. Alright, so here you have Final Fantasy V running on the Retron 5. This is the Super Famicom version. As you can see, it is only Japanese. Now, if I had Hatch, don't have it. If I did have it, I can come in here and, well, I can load the game. Load the game and come in here and I can load the patch and actually turn it on in English. It's actually really nice. A really great way to expand your library. Because you can play English patches to Japanese games. So yeah, so now I'm done with showing you what the Retron 5 can do. So yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of my pickups. Okay, so here are the pickups that I got from Tappers today. Obviously, I got the Retron 5. Here's that wonderful clicky controller that So it's kind of annoying, but so it's an alright controller if you don't have any other controllers to use. The games that the other tappers, names Mark, let me borrow, to test the functionality of Retron 5 as far as what it's capable of. One of the games here is Star Force on Famicom. And another one here is the other cartridges are this 3-in-1 homebrew cartridge. It's got no labeling, obviously it's a 3-in-1 or maybe it's a 4-in-1, I really don't remember. And then you got a Magical Quest 3, but it's Mickey and Donald. Now this is a fake cartridge. Apparently the front label there on a legit cartridge should be blue. It's just the name of the game there. Apparently there's way too much detail in that. Also, it feels fake when you compare it to an actual Game Boy Advance game. It's fake around the back. Until today, we thought that it only worked in the Game Boy Advance SP. Well, this guy right here proved that they're wrong. Now, to be fair, the first 2 times I tried this, maybe 4 or 5, it didn't work. It went to a black screen like it normally would in any other Game Boy Advance or Game Boy Advance player, but that one time it actually happened to work. So that's pretty cool. Maybe there's some hope for other Game Boy players, who knows, with that. But moving on to the retro pickups I got specifically for this console. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, Game Boy Advance, obviously. Mission Impossible on Game Boy Color. Elmo and Grouchland on Game Boy. Plays a Game Boy Color and an original Game Boy. Yo-Noid, amazing game on the NES. If you haven't played it, definitely worth checking out. Great game. Not hard, or not easy to beat, but definitely a fun game to play. Miss Pac-Man on the Genesis. Not complete, card only, but definitely a great game. And then the not so retro stuff I got here, depending on the way you look at it. Got Fur Fighters on the PS2. Technically loose. Great fighting game on the PS2. I've got replaced my PS3 copies. I've got Battlefield by Company 2 on 360 and Modern Warfare 2 on 360. Both of them are complete. They will play on the Xbox One, so bonus. And then the other game I got loose was Black Ops 3 on the Xbox One. So happy to have gotten that. So those are my pickups from Tappers today. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys all of the cartridges in the respective slots there. Game Boy, really easy to pull out, done. Okay, Famicom, pull out from the side, done, easy. Okay, so now we're going to do Genesis, pretty easy. Super Nintendo, pretty easy. Now this one. This one is not easy. The NES cartridge slot on the Retron 5 has a notorious death grip on the cartridge. I'm going to spin this around so we can get a better grip on it here. So, you'd think, hey, just pull up. No. You're going to actually, I'm just going to do this right here. Okay, so, yeah, pull up like that. See, it's going to, there you go. You're going to pull it from the side. And even then, do enough of that, and it's probably going to break. So I will eventually be getting some dielectric grease to grease up that slot so it doesn't do that anymore. Alright, closing, I do want to give a big shout out to Mark of Tappers Retro Games and Toys, again, for allowing me to test out those cartridges and for giving me a really good deal on everything I got. So thank you again. Always a pleasure being able to go in there and get great deals on some awesome stuff. And thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. And until next time, happy gaming.